here. Straight. The Cavaliers did come up with a road win a season ago here in the New Orleans Arena. And our series matchup brought to you by the Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Kenny Maurer, Bill Kennedy, Jason Phillips are the three gentlemen that blow the whistles tonight, so settle back and enjoy it. Cavaliers got to find a way to tough this out. Austin, there's some other of the ball clubs ahead of them and behind them playing tonight, but the Cavaliers need to have attention to detail right here and beat this New Orleans ball club.
You're right, Michael. And this team, I talked to Coach Jim Clemens before the game. This team, they play hard every night. Some nights they don't hit shots. He said, but if you come in here thinking you can not show up and beat them, you got trouble. Cavaliers have to be ready to play tonight.
It's time to go to the hoop for all of you. Cavaliers and the Hornets, too, right here on the Cavaliers Television Network. So do settle back and enjoy it. As the Hornets with the basketball at the offensive end to start this one out. And Drew Gooden's in a passing lane with a Cavaliers steal. So Gooden's going to take it to the hole on P.J. Brown. Ilgauskas on the cleanup. Z running the floor. And it looks like Jamal McGlure has maybe either banged a knee or an ankle as he's trying to walk that off.
Good sign to see the Cavaliers getting out on the break. Defense got him into the open floor. Good to see Z follow up. Cavaliers active so far, first play of the game.
Dan Dickow, who has been solid as a starting lead guard for Byron Scott, will raise up and ring up that jumper. Hey, Dickow has been putting the ball in the hole with a lot more regularity than he did either at Atlanta or Dallas in his early NBA career.
Well, he's one of those players that don't look like much, but when they get out on the floor, Michael, he can produce.
Ira Newble. Go glass with that face-up three. Ira's shaking his head. Don't worry about it. Just going to stay on the board. Ira's hit, we had 2 threes the other night in the first quarter against Dallas.
Look what I found. Nice board right in front. Glad he shot the ball in front of the basket, because on the side, that would have missed the whole thing. But it went in for the Cavaliers. Good start.
Jamal McGlure, the big cat out of Kentucky with that left-handed jump hook that goes down. And he had fractured a ring finger on his right hand. Also, it cost him 51 games.
That's amazing. I mean, for a finger like that to cost that many games, he probably snapped it completely across instead of a crack.
Well, his absence hurt a lot. Drew Gooden too strong on that face-up jumper for the Cavaliers.
You don't want to start selling for that, Michael. You got to punish this team inside.
P.J. Brown had it slapped away. Eric Snow with his hands on it. LeBron James with that initial rip away. James bothered by Dan Dickow, and Bill Kennedy says last touch LeBron James. It'll be New Orleans basketball. Yeah, well, Austin and I had shoot around today and chatting with Brendan Malone, the Cavaliers head coach. They wanted, no secret tonight, they want to pound the basketball inside, but they'll post up anybody tonight offensively.
No.
J.R. Smith rising high and throwing that down hard as he came for the weak side and elevated.
Michael, the key is stick to your game plan. If his game plan means keep them out of the middle, you have to keep them out of the middle regardless. If they beat you the other way, fine, but you must execute your game plan.
Oh, J.R. Smith, the young man from St. Benedict's High School in New Jersey on LeBron James. That's a tough fadeaway jumper from LeBron, and he'll fill it up.
I think LeBron is going to give J.R. a little lesson today, because J.R. and LeBron, both high school greats coming out of high school, will definitely have a little battle on here. Both of them are wearing Michael Jordan's number.
We talked to LeBron at shoot-around today with regard to that tender ankle as Lee Nalon will come up firing. The former Cavalier who came off the bench with so many solid performances a year ago. Eric Snow has turned the corner. Good in the crowd, and he's going to get to the free throw line. That's going to be a Jamal McGlure New Orleans foul.
Cavaliers very active, Michael. I like to see that early. Going after missed shots. Eric down the middle, good drive. He's trying to draw the foul. Didn't get the call, but Drew right there, Johnny on the spot, goes to the line for 2.
We talked about the post-ups and trying to be dominant in the paint with offensive basketball. A couple of things that can accomplish as we look at Drew Gooden and his numbers on the year, averaging over 14 a game. Even if shots aren't going down, you'll have a tendency with the aggressive offensive basketball to pick up some fouls on the bigs in New Orleans and get to the free throw line.
Michael, that's the key. That's what good playoff teams do, Michael. They get you in foul trouble early, so if they don't shoot well, they can go to the free throw line and stay in touch with the game.
Cavaliers by 3 early on. Another key for the wine and gold. Brendan Malone said we must establish the first quarter lead. Get this ball club playing from behind. That's Jamal McGlure, and he'll go to the free throw stripe. And Dan Dickau able to turn the corner off that dribble penetration and break down the Cavaliers defense.
And Michael, that's been the problem, I should say, the last 3 or 4 months for the Cavaliers. When you let the guy get into the middle of your defense, that gives him too many options. You have to force him on the other side of that pick and keep him away from the middle.
Well, Jamal McGlure, as we said, he had played at 290 in a row before he ultimately has missed 51 games because of that fractured right ring finger. But in 7 games since he's returned to this ball club, AC averaging a double-double, 12 points per and almost 11 rebounds, with better than a block shot to go along with it. So he's been a factor since coming back for Byron Scott.
Well, he has toughness, Michael. He's going to play you regardless of what his situation is. He's going to bang you. He's going to keep a body on you. He's going to play the center position the way it should be played.
A lot of ball clubs seem to covet Jamal McGlure. LeBron James with a left hand. You can book that. And one coming on that New Orleans foul. You got to love the adjustment in midair, changing hands and delivering for LeBron.
Something they've been working on, trying to get LeBron in the lane. Nice up fake inside. Strength to the basket with the left hand from the right side of the basket. Good move by LeBron James. Goes to the line. Opportunity for a three-point play.
That offensive set is one of the wrinkles that Brendan Malone has put in today. Off down screens and curls for LeBron, catching the basketball in the paint with the opportunity to finish.
Well, it got it. It finishes as well as LeBron. That's where you want to get him the ball in that paint area close to the basket. J.R.
Smith will step back and stroke that three. I tell you what, this young man has grown by leaps and bounds. He was hardly getting any run at all, any playing time back in November and December, and now he's turned in the last 2 months. He's been the leading scorer on this ball club.
Well, Michael, he's a talent. The young man, they got him out of high school, and this young man at 6'4", about 220, can flat out play the game. He just has to get confidence and familiar with the league.
Drew Gooden off the spin. LeBron James to keep the goodness alive, so the Cavaliers will attack the offensive glass. James's deep jumper rattled and came out. Cavaliers by 2 now as Dan Dickau. And J.R. Smith does look a little bit different. Baron Davis, David Wesley. Nice to see the veterans here in this backcourt.
You're right. And they don't shoot the three as well without those guys.
P.J. Brown. That's too strong on a step-back jumper, but Dickau kept it alive. That's Dan Dickau to bury a three. Took it away from Drew Gooden, and it results in the Dickau knockdown for 3.
All that was, Michael, was they just out-scrapped the Cavaliers for the ball that time and got Dickau in the corner. But so far, so good. The Cavaliers got to continue to stay in touch with this team, keep the energy level up.
Drew Gooden with that jump hook that's right there over P.J. Brown.
Drew's starting to really feel that hook shot now. He knows when to shoot it now, where the defensive guy is at all times. He's starting to get very consistent with that shot.
Now Dickau wants to turn that corner. LeBron James had a hand on it. It was slapped away from P.J. Brown, so the Cavaliers trying to contest everything in the paint around the hoop.
Well, you have to, Michael. This is playoff time. This is a man's game now. There's no longer kids out there. You got to come ready to play every night because everybody, even a team like New Orleans, is going to come ready to play until you make them realize they can't win the ball game.
J.R. Smith hoisted that three, and Lee Nalon, very opportunistic, picking up the loose change for New Orleans.
You got to put a body on people. This is simple, Michael. You've got to play a physical game from here on out. But regardless of who you play, you better come ready to play.
New Orleans by 1. That's going to be a travel on Drew Gooden as he was trying to shake P.J. Brown on that left block. The Cavaliers, they're a busy week now. This is Brendan Malone's ball club. 5 games in 7 nights this week. After tonight, the next 3 of the next 4 are going to be at Gund Arena, starting with the LA Clippers. Excellent pick and roll from Dan Dickau and Jamal McGlure as he reversed it home.
Michael, when the pick and roll that far away from the basket, the weak side has to get there a step sooner. They have to anticipate that.
Cavaliers down by 3. As New Orleans is 7-10 from the floor. Cavaliers shooting it well at 5-9 here in the early go. James isolated against the rookie. Another difficult fadeaway jumper for LeBron. And that's not the kind of shot that Brendan Malone's looking for here in his offense in the opening quarter. All right, we'll come back, and with just 1 second on the shot clock, it's New Orleans behind J.R. Smith and Dan Dickau, up by 3.
All right, here's one. You're stranded on the island. Name 3 things that you want with you.
A beautiful woman, an endless supply of Bud Light, and oh yeah, another beautiful woman.
Cavaliers find themselves down by 3 as New Orleans is on a 10-2 run. You know, LeBron James Mini Bobblehead Night presented by Opti-Free Express, available at Rite Aid, is tomorrow, March 29th. Moondog knows that. He'll be there. You should be too, with the Cavaliers tango with Corey Maggette and Elton Brand and all of Mike Dunleavy's LA Clippers. All fans in attendance receive the 5th and final piece of the series. Number for you to call. Get more information on Mini Bobblehead Night. Yeah, those LA Clippers, Mike Dunleavy and his boys are comfortably resting in their downtown Cleveland hotel headquarters on their East Coast swing, waiting for the Cavaliers tomorrow night. And New Orleans continues to go hard at the Cavaliers interior. That right-handed smash from Jamal Magloire.
Well, where they're going, it almost seems like their game plan is to attack the Cavaliers on the interior.
Jamal Magloire 3 for 3 for the floor. He's got 7. Dan Dickau's 2 for 2. J.R. Smith's 2 for 3. They're shooting it well. Ira Newble will misfire on that step-back jumper, and the Cavaliers are down by 5. Dickau's got the quarter turned on Eric Snow. That runner didn't fall for Dan Dickau.
Cavaliers met him at the rim, causing him to miss the shot.
The kitty core of this New Orleans ball club. LeBron James will bottom out that deep jumper. A stride inside that triple arc. So James, 3 of 5. He's got 7.
LeBron coming out strong in the first part of the quarter.
P.J. Brown now, that face-up on Drew Gooden. This is Lee Nailon being checked by LeBron James. Nailon to raise and rip that jumper. We know he could be instant offense.
Oh yeah, we know his MO. This young man can flat out shoot the basketball, and if you let him get in there in that close around, Michael, you got trouble. You got to keep him out away from the basket.
Yeah, averaged about 8 a game as a Cavalier last year. James off the curl. LeBron with a left hand went glass. There's one of those new offensive wrinkles for Brendan Malone.
Nice C cut by LeBron. Good strong move inside with the opposite side of his body. Good move with the left hand.
Well, Byron Scott's going to go to his bench as we go back to the offensive end of the Cavaliers. James exploding around the corner.
LeBron coming off a double pick by Z and Ira, able to get inside on the C cut.
Chris Anderson on the floor. Anderson 6'10" in his third NBA season out of Blinn Junior College in Texas, along with Speedy Claxton, who came over in the Baron Davis deal. Drew Gooden will go up strong to take down the J.R. Smith missed jumper. Cavaliers are the offensive end down by 3 as we're inside 3.5 left in the opening quarter.
Trying to get Z started here, get him off good. Good drop pass to Z, back to the good move by the Cavaliers.
Ran it well, did the Cavaliers. 2-man basketball with Zadrudas Ilgauskas finishing things on the Eric Snow assist.
Good to see the Cavaliers working together, little 2-man game. Nice pass by Eric Snow to Z to finish.
Third assist for Eric Snow, whose assist-turnover ratio has been sensational. Chris Anderson dove off that setting of the screen, and J.R. Smith found him, and he got fouled by the Cavaliers' Eric Snow.
But it was good to see him inside helping out, being there when the ball was there. Inside to Z, nice little drop pass, and then he goes to the rim for 2. Good pass by Eric, good recognition by Z to realize he was open on the cut to the basket.
So what'd you think of Chris Anderson's performance, partner, in the NBA slam dunk affair during the All-Star break?
What performance? He should have stayed home. That was embarrassing, Michael. It was really embarrassing. I don't know why he even showed up. He should have stayed home. He's a free spirit anyway, and his spirit was really free that day.
He is that. Ira Newble's got a clean look at it. Look at Drew Gooden all over the offensive glass and going to work with that hard hat mentality for Drew Gooden. He was able to touch that over the top of Chris Anderson.
Good to see him active early in the ball game on both boards. Drew doing a good job. Good follow-up there for 2.
Gooden now is a half dozen second field goal make for Brendan Malone, and Gooden, of course, the other evening in Dallas is again the Cavaliers, as Brendan Malone said, played 1 quarter the other night, the first quarter. They were tied at 29 after the opening quarter, and then Dallas laid a 37-point second quarter on the Cavaliers, and things got very askew after that.
Well, Michael, it seems like the last 4 or 5 games, or whenever the bench does not step up, the starters seem to hold their own, and then the bench is starting to let the game get out of control, and then they play catch-up all night. That's tough to do on the road.
I know my partner Austin Carr is a little bit on the hungry side. Not that's anything new, but it's time to put a DiGiorno pizza in the oven, Cavalier fans. It's available in your grocer's freezer. It's the official pizza of the Cavaliers in Gooden Arena. DiGiorno pizza, as Brendan Malone and Zabrutis Ilgauskas chat about the offensive end for the Cavaliers. And Austin, January 22nd. So what's today? March the 28th. It has now been 2 months and a week since the Cavaliers have last won away from Gooden Arena. January 22nd in Oakland against Golden State. Pick and roll for Anderson. Forced that on the glass. Ilgauskas contested it. Made it problematic for Anderson. J.R. Smith had a hand on it.
It's good to see the reaction of the defense. Z there before the ball got there. He caused him to miss the shot.
Late first quarter here in New Orleans. Don't go away. The Cavaliers and the New Orleans Hornets are even at 22 apiece.
Game and the rest of the games we play by quarter, post up. Go to a lot of post-ups early, get them in foul trouble, and get to the bonus early. And when you get to the bonus early, you usually win games. That means you're getting to the foul line with the clock stopped and you're getting extra foul shots.
While the Cavaliers have been able to get the majority of their hoops in the paint, they haven't picked up the fouls on New Orleans Brendan Malone was looking for in the opening quarter.
You're right, Michael. It's called a steady diet. You got to have a mentality of pound, 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 and then pound some more.
Let's see what the Cavaliers come to in this set on the offensive end. This is Zabrutis Ilgauskas with that big size advantage on Chris Anderson. He got it up on the glass, and last touch is going to be on Drew Gooden. So the basketball will go back to New Orleans.
Here's Z trying to get up and under, not there, trying to go over the top. Didn't get the call. Out of bounds. Hornets get the ball.
Brendan Malone's going to be going to his bench here momentarily. There you see right there as the basketball comes to the offensive end. Both Tractor Trailer and Jeff McGinnis shed the warm-ups, and they're ready to check in on the next whistle. Dickow turned the corner again, gave it up to a diving Nalon, and Nalon just pounds it home.
Michael, weak side. Z was there where he should have been. But the other guys watched the play. They did not help Z on that play. That's why the dunk came in from the weak side. You gotta like an amoeba. You got to get to the basket. You can't fool around on the outside.
Well, LeBron James was looking for contact from rookie J.R. Smith. Maybe got a little bit of it. No whistle. P.J. Brown didn't finish. Smith flying around the rim. And right now, once again, the Cavaliers are watching the opposition be the aggressor here in the opening quarter.
Well, this is what happens, Michael. Now you have guys, PJ going in there trying to make a layup, and Smith coming in trying to dunk the ball. They are encouraged now, Michael, because you haven't been putting bodies on people. They think they can have their way under the basket.
Dan Dickow. That three wouldn't drop for him. The Cavaliers will head to the offensive end. LeBron James wheeling. Gave it up. Tractor Trailer on the floor, averaging 5 points and 5 rebounds a game. James will trigger the short jumper. David West, the former Xavier Musketeer, on the floor. And Ken Maurer is going to say it's New Orleans basketball.
Looked like West hit the ball, but he didn't get the call. Why? Because they are the aggressor at this point. Around the basket, they have more activity going on than the Cavaliers.
Another jump shot on that possession.
Well, Michael, again, now, that was a 10-footer. I would take that from LeBron coming inside, but you can't get a steady diet of doing that.
Lee Nalon will face up on LeBron James and bury the jumper. Lead is up to 4 again. 4 of 5 for the former Cavalier. Lee Nalon, he's got 8.
The scouting report has to tell you he's looking to shoot from a standstill position. That's what he loves to do.
We are at the 42nd mark here in the opening quarter. Drew Gooden trying to attack the rim, and there's a foul on David West, who put a pretty good shot on Gooden.
Game plan being followed there. Go to the basket. Here's Drew, nice up fake. Gets that step inside to the basket. Good things happen for you when you attack the basket.
Drew Gooden, who the last time the Cavaliers faced the Hornets in Gund Arena, with that Cavaliers were down actually early part of the fourth quarter. Gooden went for 18 and 18, had a big evening the night after Christmas as the Cavaliers wound up a 9-point victor, but Cavaliers had to come from behind. New Orleans took the lead, had the lead even with about the 8-minute mark of the fourth quarter.
The Cavaliers are playing pretty decent basketball at that time. Just a little simple pick and roll, jump shot over the top.
J.R. Smith with a knockdown of the jumper. He's 3 for 5. He's got 7. And here's New Orleans at 12 of 20 from the floor, shooting 60% in the opening quarter. That's a deep triple from LeBron James, and it'll be New Orleans basketball. With still 12 and a half seconds left in the opening quarter, so the Cavaliers are going to find themselves most likely playing from behind after quarter number 1 here on the road against a 16-win basketball team. And Cavaliers with a foul to give will take it on the Jeff McGinnis hole.
You see, Michael, this team Hornets have been playing from behind quite a few games here in the first quarter. You don't want after that first quarter, you have to keep this team down because
and Hullett.
Now I know that
Nancy changed the policy not long ago. She left it to the girls. I thought you knew.
But New Orleans shooting 60% and up by 4.
Now, enjoy the thrill of poker right on your computer at PokerStars.com, where it's easy, fun, and free to play poker online. At PokerStars.com, you can play all your favorite poker games for free, or enjoy the thrill of tournament poker. We've got the most tournaments and the biggest prizes on the web. Over $2 million in prize money each month.
I started with a $40 tournament on PokerStars.com, and I won $2.5 million.
Go to PokerStars.com today to enter a tournament free.
I'm not just a giant eagle butcher, I'm an artiste. My medium is meat, and I know how to sculpt it. You can braise it, broil it, grill it, fry it, whatever you want, and I'll accommodate you. We sell the best meat on the planet, USDA choice and up. They're thicker, juicier, perfectly marbled. It might look the same somewhere else, but it definitely doesn't.
I remind all of you Cavalier fans, you get both of your top Cavaliers moments on Cavaliers.com. One of you lucky fans is going to win your very own unforgettable Cavaliers moment, and that includes a sweet party, a game-worn Hardwood Classics item, and a chance to rebound for the team during warm-ups at Gund Arena. Log on to Cavaliers.com and vote tonight. Let's take a look at the numbers through 12 minutes, brought to you by our friends at GM. There's New Orleans burning away at 57%. Cavaliers don't shoot it that badly, but for the Cavaliers, of course, they saw 10 assists on the 12 New Orleans hoops. Now this is Jeff McGinnis now to try to touch up that floater that didn't go down. Battling on the deck is Casey Jacobson along with Jeff McGinnis. And going to jump it up in the offensive end of the Cavaliers is Paul Silas. Paul Silas was the former head coach of the New Orleans Hornets before he came to the Cavaliers. And of course, Brendan Malone. CAC, that's condition pattern speaking right there. Those of doing Cavalier basketball, huh? But Brendan Malone has got Jeff McGinnis and Lucius Harris on the floor, along with tractor trailer Drew Gooden and LeBron James. Dan Dickow playing pick and fade with David West. John Nakbar. Nakbar found Chris Anderson, who flushes, and the lead goes up to a half dozen for New Orleans.
See, the difference in that play, Michael, is he did not accept the outside shot. Took it to the basket, found something good there. They get 2 points on the close-in shot.
LeBron James trying to give it up to Drew Gooden, and it was directed out of bounds. So the Cavaliers, a minute into the second quarter, down by 6.
Because it takes patience, Michael, to follow your game plan. Because sometimes a lot of situations, good drive inside by Jeff, couldn't get it to go down. Sometimes the situations show up to where you have to really have patience to stick with the game plan, because that's what's going to work in the long run.
Dick Howe tried to find David West and threw it away. The Cavaliers have now misfired on their last 6 shots at the offensive end. Brendan Malone, you'll see Brendan right there calling out the sets. Wants the Cavaliers to look at is Casey Jacobson fronting LeBron James, who wants it over the top.
There's a lot more activity, Michael, on the weak side. A lot of the way Coach Malone wants it done, they move a lot more on the weak side now.
Tractor Trailer is going to get that jump hook to drop as Tractor shook Chris Anderson and delivered.
Good to see the big fella with the hook shot inside. What he was doing at the beginning of the season was opening up on the hook shot. Now, once he gets his position, he goes straight up. Good shot by Tractor.
Way up top for Chris Anderson. Dick Howe wasn't able to connect with him. Cavaliers have come to the offensive end, trying to cut into their deficit. Jeff McGinnis, another look at it. McGinnis starts 0 for 3 here early in the second quarter. John Nakbar, who can really stroke it from long range, and that's through the hands of Chris Anderson. Again, New Orleans moving the basketball crisply on the interior.
But they're moving pretty good, Michael, because of what? They've been given a sense of, well, we might be able to win this game because of what happened in that first quarter. This team's going to be tough to deal with here on out until the Cavaliers just smother them on the defensive end for at least a 6 or 7 minute period.
Not like the basketball they played last Tuesday night against the Detroit Pistons.
Right.
LeBron James had to give it up. Lucius Harris will make that extra pass. McGinnis still having problems. Look at Robert Trailer. Oh, that's manly. That's with an attitude for the Tractor as he thumped that down. Strong on the offensive glass.
Ooh, do it to him, big fella.
Now the former New Orleans Hornets. Robert Trailer. David West. Got to look at it. Tractor ran it down for the Cavaliers. He could tie it up, maybe take the lead on this trip.
See if that move energizes the Cavaliers and get them going here.
McGinnis off the Drew Gooden pick. Shot clock's at 4. Robert going to the hole. And he's going to get a whistle and get to the free throw line as he put Chris Anderson on his hip. And Tractor Trailer, who has been a strong force for the Cavaliers at both ends, the former member of this New Orleans ball club. Jump hook went, and then look at this in traffic. Take some of that, said Robert. Everything lovely here in the Big Easy, New Orleans, Louisiana. Yes, as Easter Sunday was a delight here in the state of Louisiana. Even though you got to be away from family and friends, right? A most accommodating spot. Let's take a look at the other what's going around the NBA tonight. Okay, we got to keep an eye on New Jersey and Orlando now because they're 9-10, and New Jersey on the road with a slight lead over Charlotte. That is early in the fourth quarter in North Carolina. And Orlando, we got Atlanta at home tonight, so looking like the Magic may get off the schneid as they've been having problems of late. Detroit hosting Dallas. Well, Mavericks looked good the other night, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
And look at Indiana. They're on the road tonight, so definitely one that you have to certainly make sure that you at least keep on your radar. And again, the Cavaliers a game ahead of both Indiana and Philadelphia in the 7 and 8 spots in the NBA East. Robert Trailer hit a couple of throws. We're all even at 30 apiece. Robert with the last 6 Cavalier points. That's John Nakbar. I told you a moment ago he's got a nice stroke. The young man who came over in the deal with the Phoenix has been shooting the ball real well from long range.
Well, Michael, he definitely gets off his feet quick. He's tall, lanky. He can shoot the ball well.
Robert Traylor to look at it. He'll lace it. Tractor Trailer giving everybody here in New Orleans an idea what they're missing this year as Robert has come off the bench with a huge spark here in the second quarter.
Something very sorely needed by the Cavaliers is some production off of the bench.
Tractor's got 8, but David West slipped that screen as Dick Allen West played 2-man, and David West brought it down with strength.
You got to touch people, Michael. You can't play friendly basketball on the defensive end.
Well, the lead is 3 again. Robert Traylor, is he going to go back for more from Chris Anderson? That rattled out. Well, Robert with his first field goal miss. Post John Nakbar flipped it up in the glass and got it to drop. The lead is up to 5. It was even at 32 apiece. Nakbar hits a 3 and then puts it on the floor and goes to the hoop.
Michael, the first premise, here you go, bench points, 10-8, Cavaliers hanging in there.
Jeff McGinnis just cannot get into a flow with his jumper. He is 0 for 5 in his 6 minutes on the floor. And Dan Dickow to the offensive end. Dickow turned the corner. Jacobson gave it up to West, who lost the basketball. LeBron James in a hurry. James running 1-on-3. LeBron with a left hand gliding to the glass.
LeBron just waiting for somebody to commit themselves and make a mistake. He took the ball down the center of the floor, which he should do. Defense committed. LeBron made his move.
James has 11 on 5 and 10 for the floor. LeBron 4th in the NBA at 26.2 points per game. Dickow to use the Anderson pick. David West against Anderson Varejao. Shot clock at 3. Well, West just threw it up at the side of the glass. And Ken Mauer is going to call a Cavalier foul on Anderson Varejao.
Boy, LeBron getting the steal down the middle of the floor. There's to the hoop for 2. LeBron making a nice little move down the floor on the steal off of the defensive end.
As we were looking at LeBron James, that whistle was very late, as David West is going to be the beneficiary of and go to the free throw line for New Orleans. You Xavier Musketeer fans, I think well remember the player of the year in the Atlantic 10 a couple seasons ago, David West. And he's been injured as well. You see, only playing 17 games this year.
Right, they've had a lot of injuries, which probably has a lot to do with their record at this time. But, the young guys are starting to step up.
West just missed them both, but most John Nakbar is all over the offensive glass and going right back to the free throw line on a Varejao foul.
But what happened is, Michael, he fell asleep there. The ball bounced quickly off of the board, but you got to touch him. You got to put the body on him. That time the ball bounced back really a little bit farther than Anderson, but Anderson was there. The ball bounced really crazy that time. Didn't get an opportunity to get the body on him good.
You see how head coach Byron Scott is playing this young man. He was acquired along with Jim Jackson from the Houston Rockets in exchange for David West. Hit 8 consecutive threes in a couple of games immediately after putting on the New Orleans uniform. So here is Bojan Nakbar with 7 points. As the Cavaliers perfect from the line, but there's 2 gift points for New Orleans after Weston missed a couple of throws. Lead is back to 5 again. LeBron James pass stolen away by David West.
Opponents collapsing in the middle, causing the turnover.
Speedy Claxton, who told a laceration on his lip. And that's Bojan Nakbar, sweet stroking another 3. So Nakbar now with 10 points here in succession for the New Orleans Hornets.
Well, Michael, you have to know that in the scouting report that this young man is a 3-point shooter. So what do? You get up on him and force him to put the ball on the floor.
Anderson Varejao is going to get to the free throw line as he's going to get the whistle on David West as he put it on the floor and tried to attack the hoop. So the lead is up to 8. It's New Orleans' biggest lead of the night, and Bojan Nakbar has been the Hornet reason. John Nakbar, and they have this 8-point advantage. You know, Cavalier fans, you might be the lucky one to win a dream home at Fan Appreciation Night on April 19th. And that's part of the Cavaliers K-Hubnanian Design and Win Home giveaway. Register as often as you like at any of the 4 K-Hubnanian home sales centers in Northeast Ohio or at Gun Arena. Visit Cavaliers.com for details. With Austin Carr, I'm Michael Regai. Our producer David Dabrowski, director Chuck McKean, associate producer Steve Bardo, and all of our fine crew in New Orleans. Host John Nakbar has been shooting it well, and Cavaliers are finding out why tonight here in his time on the floor.
Well, right now he's an NBA All-Star the way he's playing right now. Cavaliers have to find a way to slow this young man down.
Anderson Vamejo at the free throw line for the Cavaliers. An area that Anderson will work hard to improve upon in the offseason is where he stands right now. The free throw line, he's a 55%er from the stripe, and he just missed a couple.
Well, Michael, I would contend that during the offseason, that will be the main part of his focus, is getting his offensive game to match what he does on the defensive end.
Cavaliers down by 8. Nakbar wanted to play pick and roll, and Robert Traylor stole it away. Vamejo was held from behind as he tried to run out. He wanted to find Lucius Harris, who was ahead of the pack. Anderson got fouled, and that is team foul number 3 on New Orleans.
See, Michael, the Cavaliers must understand that's their game. That's what they have to come to the arena every night to play on the defensive end, which puts you into the open floor and you can get out and run.
Lucius Harris now to raise up. Harris didn't get that jumper to go down. J.R. Smith is back, along with P.J. Brown, Jamal McGlure, Speedy Claxton to give Dan Dickau a blow, and Bosjan Nakbar. Cavaliers are 4 for 11 this second quarter. Claxton turned the corner. Jamal McGlure put it on the floor and double dribbled it, so he with a ball handling violation, and will go back to the Cavaliers. That is turnover number 8 on New Orleans.
Cavaliers very active around the basket, causing a turnover.
Wine and Gold down by 8 as we're inside the 5-minute mark. LeBron James checked by the rookie out of St. Benedict's High School in New Jersey, J.R. Smith. LeBron exploding to the hole and delivering with the left hand.
Good move by LeBron, showing that he can use both sides of his body. Good move with the left hand.
LeBron has 13 to lead everybody tonight. The Cavaliers are back to within 6. The veteran Speedy Claxton dancing along the baseline. J.R. Smith will knock down a 3.
Going for the steal, Michael. Not a good idea in situations. You can't go for the steal every time because you open up the outside shot.
J.R. Smith now with 10. He's 4 of 6. He's tripled twice. Biggest lead of the night in New Orleans. It's at 9. This is Anderson Vamejo, and he put it on the deck and slashed his way to the goal for the Cavalier field goal hit.
The young fella going to the hoop strong with the left hand.
First mark in the book on the offensive end for Anderson tonight. Speedy Claxton trying to break down that Cavalier defense. Nakbar gave it up to P.J. Brown, and he was clobbered by Robert Traylor.
Boy, Nakbar is feeling it good now, Michael. He tried to drive through the whole team and gave up a nice pass inside after he got inside. Nakbar feeling good about himself. Goes through 2 guys, 3. It's P.J. Brown. Cavaliers did call for the foul to get the ball back.
It's Cavaliers' 3rd team foul. Here in the quarter number 2. J.R. Smith again to hoist. And J.R. Smith has tripled for the 3rd time in the first half. Something about when other ball clubs see the Cavaliers. That's 6 threes for New Orleans. Michael Finley went 8 for 8 the other night.
Well, Michael, when you guard guys that shoot threes a lot, you have to do your defense before they get the ball. You can't wait till they get the ball and try and stop them.
LeBron James had it raked away from him by J.R. Smith, but that whistle is going to go on Speedy Claxton, who was trying to help out as the Cavaliers find themselves down by 10 here in the second quarter.
Good to see LeBron not selling for the outside shot, looking to go inside.
Now Jeff McGinnis with Lucius Harris, Robert Traylor, LeBron James, and Anderson Vamejo. Robert Traylor. Gonna get the roll as he elevated from that dotted line in the paint. Tractor has been big off the bench. He's got 10. J.R. Smith, that deep three rattled out. Nakbar will fade away and knock it down off the glass.
Gotta put a body on him. Let him run free. Those guys are too good to let him run free. On his bench, stepping up big. Cavaliers trying to hang in there on the bench.
Post John Nakbar has 12 of those 17. Robert Traylor been the Cavalier force. He's got 10 of the 12.
Good pass.
Back door to LeBron James, who will rock that rim as Traylor found him.
Good move by LeBron without the basketball, Michael. Super move. Recognize. Move without the ball. Show him you got a very rounded game, LeBron.
Got 15, does LeBron James. Varejao going for that steal. Now P.J. Brown going hard to the rim.
The man is not Speedy Claxton. Somebody should have been able to get there, Michael, before he put the ball on the floor and got to the basket.
McGinnis off the spin. Varejao from the perimeter. Nope. New Orleans by 10 and with the basketball as we approach the 90-second mark here in quarter number 2. Claxton wants it right back from Jamal Magloire. Claxton give it up, pick and roll for Magloire, and he'll go to the free throw line. As New Orleans running their offense and executing it very, very well. Robert Traylor's got 10 second quarter points for the Cavaliers, with the wine and gold are down by 10 when we get back. As they have shot the ball extremely well here in the second quarter. You know, the Cavaliers will wear gold unis once again for the next Hardwood Classic game. That'll be on April 5th when New Jersey comes to downtown Cleveland. Tonight we'll feature a look back that Cavaliers have probable run to the 85 playoffs under that head coach George Karl, with a World Be Free leading the Cavalier Parade. For all that number you see on your screen, visit Cavaliers.com for more information. Also, this is a Cavalier ball club that won 30 games in the first half of the season, and in your mind and astute opinion from being a veteran of this league, what is the we'll hang on to that. We got to get a station identification. I'm going to finish off my question to you here in a second.
Okay.
As Jamal Magloire will be at the free throw line for New Orleans, and we pause now for station identification all along the Cleveland Cavaliers television network. Great to have you part of it inside the New Orleans arena tonight with Austin Carr and Michael Regai. And P.J. Brown's got an offensive rebound after a couple of more. Jamal Magloire missed free throws. So the last time that New Orleans missed a pair of throws, they wound up with an offensive board and made the Cavaliers pay by connecting, and Speedy Claxton didn't finish that. Eric Snow battling, and J.R. Smith comes up with the loose basketball.
Michael, you have to want to get in there. You don't mind getting floor burns. You don't mind getting a pop in the mouth. You got to get physical with these guys. And this team only has 16 wins in this league.
Lee Nailot too strong. Another offensive board. This with Jamal Magloire, and it'll stay with the New Orleans Hornets. What in your mind has been the biggest reason why the Cavaliers were one of the NBA's top tier teams in the first half of the season, and why things have gone in the other direction now?
Well, I think one of them, Michael, is the scheduling. The scheduling was very in their favor with the type of teams they played in the first part of the season. Now, what has happened now, they're playing against better teams who execute their offense better, and they also do tougher defense. So now the Cavaliers have to step up. Now they have to catch up with the rest of the league.
P.J. Brown with that perimeter jumper. Another offensive rebound. This is going to be 5 chances here for New Orleans on this possession. 5.
And Michael, it shows that, again, you don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over, but you gotta put some bodies on people and stay close to them. And this is not a friendly game anymore.
P.J. Brown one more time. That jumper didn't go. Lee Nailon on the offensive glass, and he's going to the free throw line. And this crowd here in New Orleans loves it. as they came up with 6 opportunities at the offensive end on this possession.
Well, Michael, in this particular situation, you can't wait for the other guy to get the job done. You just have to go out and get it done yourself and hope that everybody else is on the same page, because if you sit back and you wait for somebody else to do it, it won't get done.
How about this? Now, this is something, a rarity, just as far as the numbers go in the NBA. For the last minute and 23 seconds, New Orleans has had the basketball in their possession. Minute and 23. It's at the half. We'll take a look at our NBA board, and Austin Carr will visit with Wes Wilcox, who Brendan Malone was named head coach. Promoted. LeBron James drew some glass and rim. That'll end the first half of basketball. And the Cavaliers have an 11-point hole to dig out against this New Orleans squad that is with 16 wins on the year. All right, don't go away. It's halftime. There's a lot more coming up on the Cavaliers television network as New Orleans shot the basketball extremely well in the first half to open up an 11-point lead. We're coming right back.
Picture now, it's time to show what you have on the floor.
As we were saying the other night, this would tonight, as Eric Snow got held by Dan Dickow, this would tonight against a ball club again. I mean, the numbers are what they are. New Orleans has 16 wins against a 16-win basketball team in the home game tomorrow night against, albeit a very athletic and certainly a team on the rise, but an under 500 LA Clipper ball club. Absolutely mandatory. They're must for the Cavaliers to get this thing turned around and try to hold their playoff positioning.
And at this point, Michael, you can't worry about the outcome of the game. You need to just go, good shot by LeBron from the outside. But you have to get in more into playing each quarter to come out on top. Because it seems like when they focus on the outcome of the game, they never reach the outcome that they want.
Well, after LeBron James sticks that jumper, New Orleans will go down to Jamal Magloire on that left block. Magloire with P.J. Brown, Lee Nalon, veteran front line, along with this young man, Dan Dickow, and J.R. Smith in the backcourt. Shot clock at 3. Magloire will sweep that hook up and bottom it out. The big cat, they call him, out of Kentucky, Jamal Magloire, who has seen his numbers really rise on the offensive end. LeBron James will raise up from the baseline. Dan Dickow on the push-out. J.R. Smith for 3. He's halfway in the hole and then rattled out on him. Now LeBron James on the run. James to explode to the hole, and P.J. Brown wrapped him up, and LeBron will get to the free throw line.
Cavaliers getting out on the break after a good rebound coming off of a long shot by Smith. Brown filling the lane on the wing, goes inside. He gets opportunity to go to the line for 2 shots. Good move. Oh, yeah, good move there. P.J. trying to hold on to him. LeBron strong enough to get it up to the hoop.
Well, LeBron at the free throw stripe for just the second time this evening, and James will connect on a couple, so a quick 4 for LeBron James, and he's got 19, and that's what he had in the last 2 Cavalier losses, 19 in Houston and 19 against Dallas.
And Michael, a sense of urgency has to come on this second half. Cavaliers have to turn their fortunes around now. This half has to be the one to get them back on track.
James baseline. Drew Gooden lost the basketball as LeBron tried to find him under the rim, turn it over, and give it back to New Orleans.
On defense, they need to talk more, Michael. They have to communicate more because they have to let each other know what's going on behind them.
Well, and is this third quarter vital? New Orleans up by 11 a moment ago as that jumper came up short from Jamal Magloire. Cavaliers will push it. Eric Snow against Jamal Magloire and threw it over the hoop. Back comes the Hornets. This is J.R. Smith. Extremely acrobatic move as he got the corner turned, and now is going to go to the free throw line. And right in front of us, Eric Snow is really working over official Jason Phillips.
Well, he thought he got the body into the man, which he should have, which he did. He got his body into him, but he didn't get to call the foul. This time, Smith goes around Z, and he gets the call. No contact there, but he's got the foul. Eric had contact on the other end. He didn't get the foul.
Yep, J.R. Smith, who he had signed with North Carolina, so he would have been playing in the Final Four.
Right.
As a part of Roy Williams' ball club.
Can you imagine that team with him?
yeah, with him and Sean May and Ray Felton, Jawad Williams.
Man.
But these are the numbers. But the last couple of months, this young man has been playing outstanding basketball. As again, they traded away the veteran backcourt, Baron Davis, David Wesley, and turned it over to Dan Dickow and J.R. Smith. And Smith has averaged 17 a game over the last 22.
Well, Michael, they know that's their future, so you might as well make a move, see if you can get anything for Brandon, and then if you can get anything, but you got to open up playing time for the young man.
LeBron James pass right into the hands of P.J. Brown, who stole it away. And the Cavaliers turned it over at the offensive end, but New Orleans gave it right back.
They returned the favor.
James went up top for Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Z went glass. Got it with one coming on the Jamal McGlure foul.
Cavaliers working hard, Michael, to make the easy baskets. Cavaliers really laboring as far as trying to make things happen good for them on the offensive end. Z goes up. Good pass over the top by LeBron. Opportunity for a three-point play.
As Zydrunas went through that stretch of over 6 weeks of basketball where he averaged over 22 points and 10 rebounds, and you see how those numbers have come down. And we talked about maybe the fatigue factor the other night, but Zydrunas feeling like he said, no, my legs are fine. Now, of course, he's had a back that's tightened up on him a little bit this year, but wanting to finish strong. J.R. Smith just missed everything, and he's yelling for a foul.
Well, Michael, let's give a little credit to defenses in this league. Once a guy gets hot in this league, then they find a way to force him to do things he can't do. Now you have to make the adjustment to the league. That's the way NBA ball goes.
LeBron James, perimeter jumper that came up short. Cavaliers down by 8 as Dan Dickow brings New Orleans to the offensive end. Off the P.J. Brown pick. There's that pick and fade from P.J. Brown who'll bury the jumper.
A little two-man game, a little pick and fade from the corner.
P.J. Brown's been playing that, all his years in Miami with Pat Riley, and then with Paul Silas in Charlotte, and here in New Orleans. Zydrunas trying to operate on the baseline, and he got pushed, and Kenny Mowers got that foul that's going to go on Jamal McGlure, and that'll be number 3 on McGlure. And Zydrunas will go to the free throw line for the Cavaliers.
Well, speaking of Z and the numbers, Michael, see what happens at this time of year is your first option of your plays, they don't work anymore because they've been defended all year. Now you have to go into option 2 and 3 and sometimes 4 on any given night in order to make it work now, because you have to have options in order to make it work, because the defense is already set up to stop that first option.
Well, that's something that all the strong playoff-bound basketball teams always talk about through the course of time in this league.
Right.
So being able to make the offensive adaptations late in the season.
Right, Michael, that's what it's all about. And then when you get deeper into the playoffs, then you have to make adjustments by quarter or maybe even by every 5 minutes of the game. It's all about adjustments in this game.
Cavaliers got to stop there as they shut off Lee Nailon. Cavaliers are pushing. Eric Snow found LeBron James raising high and bringing it down hard for the Cavaliers, who've cut the deficit back to 6.
LeBron James off of the play inside. Eric Snow with a super play over the top.
And it started with the shut-off of Lee Nailon on the defensive end. Exactly. Eric Snow up top for LeBron James will send it down strong. New Orleans by 6. Cavaliers on an 11-5 run to open up this early part of quarter number 3. Let's take a look at our drive of the evening, brought to you by our local Cleveland Mercedes-Benz dealers.
LeBron James not selling for the outside shot. Good up fake, and then goes in strong with the left side of his body for 2.
And LeBron has gone all 28 minutes. He's 9 of 17 for the floor. Yet for LeBron James, just 2 rebounds and 1 assist in his 28 minutes of play tonight.
Well, I think, Michael, what he's starting to feel is that he needs to produce points for this team more than anything else, because they haven't been able to win these ball games with his normal good floor game along with the points.
Austin, I know, but interestingly enough, when LeBron has been above the 30-point mark, and he's done that 23 times this year, the Cavaliers are under 500 when he scored 30 points or more.
So that is a strange figure there when he scores that many points.
On the Cavaliers, you can see they've picked things up on the defensive end. Lee Nalon got rejected by LeBron James. There's that swarm gang mentality defensively. This is exactly what the Cavaliers put down against the Detroit Pistons last Tuesday in that win at Gund Arena.
It was a beautiful thing watching them play against the Pistons.
Drew Gooden with that drop step went up and under. James and Gooden trying to attack the glass, but nothing to go down. Cavaliers had only 2 rebounds in the second quarter, and already with a 6 here in the third. Dickow is being ridden and held, evidently, by Eric Snow.
But he's keeping contact. That's what it's about. You have to stay with these people and stay on them. Make them have to move their feet to make something happen.
Well, the defensive presence has gone up immeasurably with the change from Jeff McGinnis to Eric Snow, but the Cavalier point guard production offensively, though, has gone down. Dickow didn't get that to fall, and neither did P.J. Brown, and LeBron. Zydrunas Ilgauskas,
you hurt his finger, look like.
Got tripped as he came away with the basketball, and Z seems to be flexing his right hand and wrist as he gets off the floor.
Looked like, Michael, when he was coming down, he lost his balance and his hand hit the floor first before he had a chance to break his fall.
Z's gone more minutes significantly than in the last couple seasons. You know, this is going to be 3 straight years that Zydrunas will have played an entire season as we take a look at Z losing his footing.
He lost his footing and fell right on his hand.
Now here's a good sign for the Cavaliers as we finish off. Ilgauskas coming up with that board off the P.J. Brown missed putback. Cavaliers are in the bonus with 6:58 left in the third quarter. Have to take advantage of it.
Michael, this is what Coach Malone has been preaching to them all the time, is to get into the bonus early. That's how you play and win games on the road when you don't shoot well.
Z with 10 and looking for 11, and Zydrunas perfect twice from the stripe, and here come the Cavaliers. Wine and Gold back within 4 after they trailed it by 11 at the break.
It's amazing what defense will do for you, Michael, isn't it?
That's why we bring it up. They held the Detroit Pistons to just 29 second half points the other night on only 37% shooting, 29% in the second half. P.J. Brown, and he's going to get to the stripe on the Drew Gooden hold.
Well, what I liked about the Piston game, Michael, is they frustrated the Pistons so much they had them ready to fight. And when you get a team like that, that means defensively you are on them and physically you are pounding them. And that's the kind of game you have to play. Inside, Drew tried to slip in there with the hand, couldn't get it, got the call against him. 2 shots for P.J. Brown.
And by the same token, really there was only about a quarter of that in each of the Houston and Dallas games, the last 2 here on the road.
Well, you have to have the mindset to do it for 4 quarters, similar a la the Pistons. They do that the whole game. They will frustrate you. They will cut your empty passes off. They will overplay the passer. They do all those things, and after a while, there's a tendency to get to you mentally.
P.J. Brown with a couple of free throw makes, and yes, because there are nights when a team like Detroit, San Antonio, the top defensive teams, won't have shots falling. Shoot less than 40% and still win basketball games.
Michael, that's how it's done.
LeBron James for 3. Drew Gooden's got an offensive board. Gooden will step through baseline and miss the reverse.
Good second effort by Drew. Couldn't get it to go down.
P.J. Brown got shut off by Gooden and Ilgauskas, and now Gooden's going to get hit with a Cavalier foul. So that's 4 team fouls on the Cavaliers. Next one will have them over the limit.
Well, again, both teams attacking the basket. P.J. going inside. Again, you cannot swipe down at the ball. You have to come up at the ball. Most referees will blow that whistle immediately once they see your hand coming down.
Dickow on the handoff for P.J. Brown. Shot clock at 5. Brown a hoist. Ilgauskas kept it up in the glass and let LeBron James take it off and head to the other end. Cavaliers down by 6. Gooden off that right block.
Good move.
Drew with strength, had it rejected by the veteran P.J. Brown, and Gooden is probably going to get hit with a technical foul. Yep, he is. Cavaliers are getting extremely frustrated now, but Austin, they've got to keep this in check on the road.
Well, Michael, this is the kind of energy you want, though, from your team. You want that. You got to continue to do that. But as far as jumping in the referee's ear, that has to be stopped. Drew up and under, up fake. The shot was blocked from behind. He got frustrated. You got to control that, Michael, but that's the energy you want. Give yourself second and third opportunities, but you got to learn how to deal with the referees. Good up fake by Drew. He got the shot blocked from behind. Really wasn't that much contact there. He thought he got fouled. But this is frustrating, Michael. That's what happens when you lose 11-12 in a row, and you're reading newspapers about how bad you are. You get frustrated early in the game.
Yeah, the lead's back to 7 as P.J. Brown connected on that Gooden technical. Robert Traylor on the floor now to replace Drew Gooden. Dickow to unload. Got it. Lead back up to 9. Dan Dickow connected. Cavaliers had it down to 5 a moment ago, but back up to 9 now. As we're going to hit the 5-minute mark on this Cavalier trip to the offensive end. Neither ball club is shooting the ball well here in the third quarter. LeBron James against J.R. Smith. Now wants Robert Traylor on the block. Tractor against his former teammate P.J. Brown, and P.J. pushed Robert, who will go to the free throw line. Now P.J. Brown, technical foul. Jason Phillips, this official, has just now banged with technical fouls Drew Gooden and P.J. Brown in the last about 45 seconds.
The referees don't want to let this one get out of hand, so they return the favor with a technical foul on P.J. Brown.
James with the technical free throw hit for the Cavaliers. LeBron's got 21. And now Robert Traylor to go to the free throw line, and Robert for the Cavaliers on the year, about a 55%er from the stripe, but what a difference he made in the second quarter. Tractor was really the Cavalier offense along with LeBron James.
Yes, he was. He gave him some much-needed help off that bench. He really came in and gave him a big spark.
And now Robert will try to split the pair for the free throw line. Can't do it. Missed them both. And Cavaliers can ill afford to miss free throws on the road when trying to come from behind.
See, it's the little things, Michael, on the road. You have to be able to see at home. You can get the crowd to get your defense going. You can get the crowd to get your offense going and really get your energy going. But on the road, it's just you against the world. Robert
Traylor trying to come out and hedge and show on and trap Dan Dickow, and he got hit with a foul. And now the Cavaliers are over the limit. Dickow will shoot him. So Dan Dickow, who with the New Orleans Hornets in his 38th start of the year, and with this ball club averaging 13.5 points and almost 5 assists for New Orleans since Byron Scott has made him the starter. You can apply for a Cleveland Cavaliers MasterCard and get a free Cavaliers blanket after your first qualifying transaction. Call that number you're looking at on your screen. Mention priority code M62H. 2 free throw makes for Dan Dickow. 10-point New Orleans lead. Cavaliers had it down to 4 a couple minutes ago.
Right, and Michael, they just have to continue to execute, because what really happens in situations like this is when the other team makes 3 or 4 baskets, you miss 3 or 4, now you're down 8 points. This execution on the offensive end is what's counting. They have to start making baskets consecutively.
James hard to the hole, tried to give it up to Zadrunas, and P.J. Brown came away with the basketball. Dickow's running numbers for New Orleans. J.R. Smith couldn't time that up and threw it over the rim. Eric Snow head to the hole. Eric Snow didn't finish. Tractor Traylor with a stick back, and that'll drop to bring the Cavaliers back to within 8.
Good to see Eric take the ball to the basket. Down the center of the floor. That opened up the floor so Tractor could get in there with the follow-up.
P.J. Brown is going to get to the free throw line. So P.J. Brown will be at the stripe. So P.J. Brown at the stripe as Dan Dickow gets replaced by Speedy Claxton. Brown, the veteran, Jamal McGlure coming back, and Dan Dickow and J.R. Smith playing well. This ball club has shown improvement, and You know, the thing about it, Austin, is Chris Anderson replaces Jamal McGlure. You know, it's interesting. 9 of their losses have been by 5 points or less.
Right, that shows that they're competing. Like I said, Coach Clemens told me that they do compete hard every night. They might not win all the games, but if you don't show up when you play against this team, you will get beat. And he says, we're making the first step, AC, and that's learning how to play hard every night.
Well, the Cavaliers find themselves down 10, and as Zydrunas Ilgauskas had a glance off his hands, pushing out J.R. Smith. Nalon under the rim to go glass to put New Orleans up by 12. And here again, Cavaliers headed down to 4, and it's right back up to 12 with about 3 minutes left here in the third quarter.
You see what happens when you have good defense and you force turnovers. You get out on the open floor. The Hornets are doing that now more than the Cavaliers. Cavaliers had a good edge doing that, but they haven't been able to get it going so far here in the third quarter.
Put that down for Zydrunas as he delivered stepping into the paint with the foul. That's going to go on Chris Anderson. So Z will be at the line when we come back, trying to bring the Cavaliers back to within 9, late third quarter in New Orleans. Around the world, spanning the globe in Cavalier basketball tonight, Austin. Great to have all of you north of the border on Rogers Sportsnet up in Canada with us. Of course, we're beaming into France, Hong Kong, the Philippines, Russia, Spain, Turkey. So a big hello to each and every one of you tonight that may be watching overseas right here along the Cleveland Cavaliers television network.
I'd like to welcome everyone.
A lot of eyes and ears, huh?
Yes.
Well, the Cavaliers have at least made a concerted effort to get on the glass here in the third quarter. The wine and goal with more third quarter rebounds, 13, than they had in the entire first half, which was 12.
Well, I think Coach Malone gave him a good lashing there in the locker room at halftime, and they're much more aggressive in this half.
Ilgauskas completed the three-point trip. Zydrunas has 14 for the Cavaliers, who are down by 9. This is Speedy Claxton now in relief of Dan Dickow. P.J. Brown off the ball fake. Brown got shut off, and that's going to be an offensive goaltend. And Anderson didn't put it down anyway, but he goaltended it up with the basketball in the cylinder.
You're right, Michael. He was a little bit too aggressive there, but you know, Michael, sooner or later it's going to come down to, aren't you going to get tired of losing? Nobody likes to lose. They got to get tired of it. Here's Anderson over the basket, touched the ball right in the cylinder.
Tractor trailer was bothered by P.J. Brown and threw it over the hoop. J.R. Smith will challenge Ilgauskas. Acrobatic, sensational finish from the rookie out of New Jersey, J.R. Smith.
Quite a move, Michael. Great body control by the young man.
Lead is 11. 2 minutes left in the third quarter on this Cavalier trip to the offensive end. LeBron James, shot clock at 7. Eric Snow will head to the hole. Eric Snow, without any field goal makes tonight, he remains scoreless.
But he's doing the right thing, Michael. He's attacking the basket. That opens up for your teammates, and you can get the second chance opportunity.
Smith gave it up to P.J. Brown. Loose on the deck. Anderson came away with a basketball and got fouled by Robert Traylor. How about Bill Kennedy showed great restraint there as he did not hit Robert Traylor with a technical, and that's his 4th personal foul.
Well, I think Tractor realized if he had said another word, he was about to get a technical. Inside move here to P.J. Brown. Going after the ball here, squirting around. Goes through his legs and then go to the basket for 2. Gets opportunity to go line for 2. But I think Robert realized if he had said another word, he was going to get tagged with a technical foul.
Anderson Varejao back in for the Cavaliers as New Orleans has now built their biggest lead of the evening. It's now at 12. It was 11 at halftime. Cavaliers took it down to 4, right back to 12 here in the late stages and make it 13 of the third quarter.
Well, Michael, what happens when you're in situations like this? You think you're putting forth effort, but you really, it's like fool's gold. You think you are until you watch films of yourself when you played well, and you'll see your effort is just not the same as it was when you were playing good basketball.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas against Chris Anderson. Z looks like he wants to take him. Offensive foul on Zydrunas.
Get on that low block. Z trying to get inside. Push, Anderson goes down. Z gets the call. There it is. A little push there.
Zadrunas has picked up his fourth. He and Robert Traylor both with 4. Claxton got shut off. This is Chris Anderson who will attack the hoop and go glass. And this is a 15-point New Orleans lead.
Well, Michael, again, he realized he didn't want that outside shot. What did he do? Put the ball on the floor and went inside. He got a much better shot inside.
So New Orleans has gone +4 in the third quarter. They've taken the lead from 11 up to 15. James off the spin. Went glass. It goes with the New Orleans foul. 24 for LeBron. He'll look for 25 from the line.
Good recognition by Anderson and good cut without the basketball by LeBron to the basket for the spin. Good recognition. Good spin move by LeBron. Strong to the hoop for 2. Goes to the line. Opportunity for a 3-point play. Good move without the ball. You have to do that, Michael. When I was in high school, my coaches tell me, son, you only have the ball 5 minutes in a game. If you're going to play 40 minutes, what are you going to do for those other 35 minutes? LeBron James knows he has to move without the ball. Good move by LeBron.
Wise words indeed. And Anderson Varejao kept that alive, and LeBron James will save for the Cavaliers. Sagana Diop is checked in for the first time. With both Zadrunas Ilgauskas and Robert Traylor with 4 fouls, and that's going to be a travel on J.R. Smith after it was ripped away from LeBron James.
A little too much mustard on that one, Michael. He was trying to show the crowd what he could do with the basketball. Too much mustard on that one. Turnover.
The young ones that have come into the NBA, huh?
Well, it's a young man's league now. I mean, it seems like the more and more come in every year.
Precocious, to be sure. Got 5 seconds separating the game and shot clock, winding it down here at quarter number 3. James in crowd ripped away. This is J.R. Smith. Little Showtime flavor down here on Bourbon Street. 2 seconds left. Eric Snow. That'll end the third quarter of basketball. A 15-point New Orleans Hornets lead. If the Cavaliers are to end their long road losing streak, they've got a long way to come back. 19-8 run after the Cavaliers had cut it down to 4 here in the third quarter in the wine and gold. Having more issues in the Big Easy. Fourth quarter is next. Concentrated run to begin the third quarter and came out with a tougher presence, but that all went up in smoke as New Orleans finished the third quarter on a 19-8 run. The Hornets still shooting above 50%. The rebounding story has come closer to being evened up, but the New Orleans bench delivered 21 points tonight, and the Cavaliers are going to get another little dose of post-John Knockbar here in the fourth quarter. Now, Austin, the Cavaliers, we said they came out and started to get things cleaned up in the first 6 minutes of that third quarter as they cut the lead down to 4, but they did not sustain, and now they've let New Orleans open up their biggest lead of the night.
You're right, Michael, because what happened is their defense did not create the turnovers or the opportunities for them to get out on the open floor and get some baskets. All of a sudden, they were stuck to playing a half-court game. Sooner or later, the Cavaliers will understand what their style of game is. You can see the frustration on LeBron James' face right there. They are not a half-court team at this point, the way they're constructed. They are a team that has to use their defense to get out in the open floor and use the talent that they have, and then mix in the half-court game.
No, sure, and I think it's rather obvious to everyone about the NBA that, the Cavaliers, when they're playing their best basketball, they're turning the floor over and using the defense to help kick the offensive transition game into gear. Knockbar turned the corner, gave it up to Chris Anderson without resistance, threw it down.
Well, see, Michael, we're not talking about NBA All-Stars here. We're talking about second and third tier players who are executing as if they are All-Stars.
Cavaliers going with Yuri Welsh and Sasha Pavlovich to open up the fourth quarter, along with LeBron James, Drew Gooden, and Anderson Varejao. A spectacular glide to the rim from LeBron James as he rolled that home. LeBron's got 26.
LeBron's going to find out that now the Cavaliers have been on this slide. They're going to have to work out of it. They're not going to give you calls unless it's just an obvious situation.
David West cleaning up his own work at the offensive end. As West with a putback.
It's going to come down, Michael, to how long are you going to keep letting people misuse you?
Yeah.
Sooner or later, you're going to have to stop it.
Could be an over and back on the Cavaliers. Well, you can see there's not a lot of emotion. There's not a lot of life on the Cavalier bench. They made the one little run to begin the third quarter, but you just don't see anything of showing a lot of life from the ball club and getting down here by double digits in New Orleans.
Well, they're playing like a team that's mentally beat, Michael. And when you see that, you got to find, again, it has to come from within.
Anderson Varejao on the hustle there. And he got called for the personal foul. That's 4 on Anderson.
Yeah, good hustle by Anderson. He got called for the foul, but sooner or later, Michael, you got to step up. I don't care if all 12 guys foul out the game. You got to get aggressive and go after it. And if you foul out all 12, so what? At least you give them the effort to try to win the ball game. You can't protect fouls now. You're past that stage now. You got to go out there and knock somebody down if you have to. Get physical.
Look at Chris Anderson in New Orleans attack the offensive glass. Off that knockbar, missed 3. Claxton to triple. Drew Gooden will take off. The speedy Claxton missed 3. Long way to go for the Cavaliers, down 17. That's Sasha Pavlovich, and he'll touch that up and get the roll.
Good to see Drew get the rebound, get out into the open floor, take the ball to the middle to give Sasha an open jump shot in the corner.
Well, you see Brendan Malone trying to go with to get some scorers on the floor, at least those that shoot the basketball from the perimeter, and Yuri Welsh and Sasha Pavlovich. But maybe to smooth up things on the defensive end, as you see right there. Claxton turned the corner and got Anderson for the throwdown.
They have to be aware defensively, Michael, what you're doing on the defend. You're guarding guys. You got to make sure that they go. Good shot by LeBron from the top of the key.
LeBron James depositing the deep jumper. He's got 28, 12 of 22 from the floor tonight for LeBron James.
But it's amazing. Every time you let a guy come down the middle of your defense, you're asking for trouble.
Off the Jacobson missed jumper. Cavaliers ahead of the offensive end. We're 3 minutes into this fourth quarter. New Orleans up 15. James wants to take Jacobson. LeBron went off that glass and got the whistle, and they'll go to the free throw line. I suppose John Nakbar got whistled for the personal foul. Zydrunas Ilgauskas, by the way, is being evaluated in that Cavalier locker room. You see James draw contact as he injured the ring finger of his right hand, and questionable whether or not he'll come back tonight.
Well, he fell on that hand when he attempted to get that rebound, and you could tell the finger probably was close to being dislocated.
LeBron James now with another 30-point evening, and we were talking about this is the 23rd time he's been at 30 points or better as a Cavalier this year, but frankly, the Cavaliers have been under 500 in games when LeBron has gone for 30 or more.
Well, he can't do it by himself. There has to be the other 11 guys got to come in and give him some help.
Stolen away, Anderson Varejao. Cavaliers trying to make a run, down by 13. James against Coach John Nakbar. Varejao to attack the hoop.
Yes.
Got it to go, and one coming on that New Orleans foul.
Anderson did not settle for the jump shot. Up fake to the hoop for 2.
Varejao will be at the free throw line when we come back. Cavaliers could cut it down to 10 and need an elongated run as Varejao off that penetration to the rim, showing his ability to finish. Right back to New Orleans. is at 11 for New Orleans, who have led by as many as 17 here in the fourth quarter. We're going to check the Cavaliers promotional calendar, where you can win tickets and have a chance to rebound during warm-ups, courtesy of Wendy's. You draw up the play game, or text the word CAVCAV from your Verizon wireless mobile phone to 59581 for a chance to win a trip for two to New York City for the NBA draft. Cavaliers.com, the place for info on these and other promotions. Anderson and Varejao to finish off the three-point twip. Anderson with 5 to go along with his 1 assist tonight. Now, they don't have Varejao down for any rebounds. I'm not quite so sure that's correct here this evening, but, maybe they're not keeping a real watchful eye on the rebounding thing. Anderson's got a steal there, and the Cavaliers will come to the offensive end. They're on a prolonged run here now, trying to cut it down to 8. James off the crossover. Pavlovich for 3. Got it. Sasha has tripled, and the Cavaliers are back to within 7 with plenty of time left. And we'll see Zydrunas Ilgauskas is coming back on the floor for the Cavaliers. You'll see him right there at the top of your screen. Z back to the Cavalier bench.
Well, Michael, it's good to see somebody make the shot after LeBron penetrates. That's sorely been missed. Somebody that can hit that open shot after LeBron draws the defense to him.
Jacobson didn't get it to fall. West on the offensive glass. And what? It's going to be the Hornets basketball, as with all the maze of bodies there, we're unable to see what the call was down underneath that rim.
Inside, Sasha trying to get there, got there a little bit. Going over the top. Hornets get the ball back.
Well, Sasha has brought a spark here in the fourth quarter. It's a 7-point game with 7.5 left. This is J.R. Smith who's returned. With both John Nakbar, Speedy Claxton, Jamal McGlory's back, and David West. Nakbar will bury a 3.
Cannot leave that young man by himself. You must stay close to him because that's his M.O. He's looking for that shot.
He's 5 of 6 from the floor. He's got 15, and the Hornets have hit 7 threes. LeBron James, Varejao under the rack. Anderson, Varejao with strength as he muscled that in the cup.
Good move inside. Good pass by LeBron. Little drop pass to Anderson. Anderson muscles over the top.
Now he's got 7. The lead is back to 8 for New Orleans. The big cat, Jamal McGlory, trying to attack Varejao. Anderson did a terrific job defensively.
You know, the Cavaliers defensively, good running the floor.
Ran the floor and is going to the free throw line. And how about LeBron James on that sweet bounce pass from about 35 feet away, right on the screws to a slashing Varejao.
LeBron James running with his head up. Anderson filling the lane on the side to the hoop. 2 times to the line. LeBron keeping the head up, looking super pass. The super hands by Anderson to catch the ball, going at that speed. There's people on the floor right now, Michael, they have defensive energy. That's what's getting things done here. The defensive energy is there.
Well, how about this in the fourth quarter? The Cavaliers are 6 for 6 from the floor, and now 5 for 5 from the free throw line. The wine and gold has been perfect here in the fourth quarter, and the lead is back to 6. Cavaliers have cut into a 17-point deficit quickly. But Claxton with a back cut went backdoor and went off the window.
No communication. Somebody should have said something to Anderson so he would know that the guy was coming in behind him.
Lead back up to 8 again. James found Drew Gooden. Yuri Welch. Pavlovich, deep triple. Got it! Sasha Pavlovich raining down his second 3 of the evening. Cavaliers back to within 5 inside the 6-minute mark.
This unit has good defensive presence. They're getting up on their guys, and they seem to have found some kind of offensive rhythm going so far. LeBron James trying to get a steal. Picks it up.
James picked Nakbar. LeBron to attack the hoop. He's going to the free throw line on the Bosch-John Nakbar foul. So James off the steal and then taking it strong to the offensive end.
Defense will make it happen. LeBron James inside goes foul for 2.
right, let's take a peek at our all-tell game summary. LeBron James is not connecting on three, but James has been very strong tonight in the offensive end. He's got 30 for the 23rd time this year, at or above the 30-point plateau. J.R. Smith, this fine-looking rookie, with 19 tonight for New Orleans. The Cavaliers are plus 11 in the last 3.5 minutes. So they've gone from 16 down to just 5 down. Let's step aside at station identification time. Don't go anywhere here along the Cavaliers television network.
Hi. I was wondering if...
Orleans lead down to 4 now. I want to welcome all of you, not only on the Cavaliers flagship at Cleveland, WUAB, UPN 43, but all of you in Columbus, Dayton, Lima, in Findlay, in Northwest Ohio, and as well as in the city of Pittsburgh. And LeBron James with a couple of free throw hits. And suddenly the Cavaliers are back to within 3. It's a one-possession game as Lee Nalon's return. And that was deflected away by LeBron James as Nalon was trying to run pick and roll with Jamal McGlure, P.J. Brown, Lee Nalon. They've got their starters back on the floor now, does Byron Scott.
Now's the time for the Cavaliers to buckle down on the defensive end.
Smith missed everything. Cavaliers looking to push it. LeBron James surveying the scene. James for 3 in the tie. Got it! It's even at 89. LeBron James with a big-time home run hit.
The young man was feeling it, Michael, coming down the floor, looking for the opening. He found the opening from Anderson and knocked it down.
Cavaliers have made up a 17-point deficit. Jamal McGlure on the step to the hoop and delivered off the window.
The ball game is on now, Michael. Both teams seem to be in some type of offensive rhythm. It's ball game time.
James off the slabs. Yuri Welsh in the paint. Drew Gooden gave it up. Pavlovich to triple. Sasha Pavlovich has cashed out his third 3 of this fourth quarter.
Good recognition by the Cavaliers.
Cavaliers on fire. They're 9 of 9 here in the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden it's kind of kicked into gear for the wine and gold. This is Dan Dickow on the step back 3. That's too strong.
Michael, this may be what they need to bring him out of the funk.
Let's find out. Cavaliers by 1. James to triple. LeBron James is on fire. A scintillating effort in the Crescent City for the magnificent one, LeBron James. He's tripled again to put the Cavaliers up by 4, and New Orleans wants a timeout. Cavaliers are 5 for 5 from the land of 3 in the fourth quarter. Behind LeBron James and Sasha Pavlovich and Anderson Varejao in the fourth quarter. All right, for every game, the Cavaliers out hustle and muscle their opponent, Cub Cadet, and the Cavaliers will donate $100 to the Salvation Army. Cub Cadet, innovative, durable, and powerful lawn and garden tractors. Cub Cadet, the science of common sense. Austin, where all of a sudden did the Cavaliers flip this ignition and get things turned around so dramatically? And hasn't Sasha Pavlovich been extremely huge in this fourth quarter?
It's good to see Sasha break out of it because there had to have been somebody on the opposite end of LeBron James's passes. They've been missing that for some time, but it's been their defense, Michael, that has gotten their confidence on the offensive end.
The Cavaliers are 10 for 10 in the fourth quarter. Varejao to try to save as Dan Dickow and Yuri Welch were battling for the basketball. So the Cavaliers 10 for 10 in the fourth quarter, 5 for 5 from home run range. LeBron James is connected on 3 trays, and Sasha Pavlovich a pair. And they're making Pavlovich 3 and James 2. And Anderson Varejao has supplied all the hustle and muscle necessary. But hey, there's still 4 minutes of the second left. And the Cavaliers, again, they're trying to put the screws in continuance on this New Orleans offense.
It's the defense, Michael. Defense is what has brought the Cavaliers back in control of this game.
Jamal McGlure didn't finish. Neither did J.R. Smith. It rattled out on McGlure, and Smith missed the putback.
LeBron James playing more of a point guard now, Michael, with Yuri Welsh in the game.
LeBron James will explode to the goal. Sensational delivery. Left-handed high off that window. LeBron James, absolutely marvelous in New Orleans. He's got 40.
This team is starting to smell victory, Michael. You can just tell they're challenging everything.
Jamal McGlure off that pick and roll. Dan Dickau found him, and McGlure thumped that down hard.
Now they have to make up for that mistake on the offensive end.
Last touch, Yuri Welsh. Cavaliers turn the basketball over. And the lead stays at 4. So LeBron James, for the 4th time this season, above the 40-point plateau. We'll tell you more about that in a moment. Inside the 3-minute mark, that's Dan Dickau. Too strong on that jumper. Well, look at New Orleans attack the glass, but Anderson Varejao to come away with a Dickau miss.
All the red shirts, Michael, were between the basket and New Orleans defenders.
Cavaliers, after being down 21-12 on the glass, now finally getting back to close to even. Yuri Welsh is going to the free throw line. And nice to see Welsh make a decisive move on a strong take to the rim.
You're right, Michael. He's been very hesitant lately, but you see him getting in his opportunity, and that's what happens again. When you get involved in defense, everything else starts to flow for you, and you can see everybody's confidence now. They're putting the ball on the floor with conviction now. They're not guessing at what they're doing.
A career high of 56 for the reigning Rookie of the Year from Akron St. Vincent St. Mary High School in Toronto a week ago yesterday. And the 4th time LeBron James has been over the 40-point plateau in his NBA career, and he's done it with a flourish here in the 4th quarter. Cavaliers by 6 as Welsh hit a couple of important throws. Dickau skating baseline. Got bumped by LeBron James, who's going to get hit with a Cavalier foul. And that is but the 2nd team foul on the Cavaliers in this quarter. So that is a solid positive for the Cavaliers.
Yes, Michael, as aggressive as they are on the defensive end, with only having their 2nd foul with 2 minutes and 28 seconds left, good solid effort by the Cavaliers on defense.
Cavaliers by 6. Shot clock at 8. Dickau had to give it up. That's Lee Nalon, and he'll drill that jumper. They can't let Lee Nalon stand all by himself, because we know he's a premier shooter in this league. And what does Ken Mauer have? Anderson Varejao and the big cat Jamal McGlure and one another's grills. As the foul was called. And they called the foul on, they called a double foul on Varejao and also Jamal McGlure. So it'll be a double foul on McGlure and Varejao on the technical side. As LeBron James, and you're right, Austin, LeBron's been initiating offense for the Cavaliers with this group on the floor. Well, Paul Silas has gone with Yuri Welsh and Sasha Pavlovich in the 4th quarter, and it's paid off. Welsh again got shut off. Now the shot clock's 7. Yuri Welsh had it slapped away by P.J. Brown. It'll be Cavalier basketball with 6 in the shot clock. We're inside 2 minutes left. Cavaliers have a 4-point advantage.
Now this is where execution on the offensive end, sticking to detail, counts. Now is when you have to be able to be a solid half-court team.
LeBron James with a shot clock winding down, had to hoist the 3. And that is the first Cavalier miss in the 4th quarter. First field goal miss in the 4th quarter. And did I say a moment ago again that Paul Silas is going with?
I didn't want to say
anything. No, you go ahead and correct me.
I should have said something, but...
Well, I tell you, after a year and a half with Paul, of course, Brendan Malone taking over after Paul was let go a week ago today. That's Lee Nalon. Nalon will cash out that short jumper, and the lead is back to a deuce. Hang on now. Cavaliers with 90 seconds left, down up by a couple.
This is where you have to be able to run 2nd and 3rd options.
Offensive foul on LeBron James as Dan Dickau got in front of James and took the charge.
Dickau right there, fanning the feet. Had the position, gets the call.
Let's see what the Cavaliers get done stop-wise on the defensive end. Dickow to run the offense off the nail-on pick. Turn the corner, gliding to the hoop. Didn't go down as Yuri Welsh comes away with that big defensive board and got fouled by Lee Nailon.
These are the type of situations the Cavaliers need to get themselves going. They have no time to worry about and feel sorry for themselves, Michael. They have to compete to win the ball game. Dickow going inside, missed shot. Yuri Welsh goes after it.
I think Dickow probably, though, turned the corner and got to the rim a little bit easier than Brendan Malone would like.
Well, at this time of the game, you don't want to see guys just floating down the middle like that. But fortunately for the Cavaliers, he missed the shot, and Yuri Welsh got the rebound opportunity to put 2 shots down.
I see Brendan Malone, who was Paul Silas's lead assistant all year long before taking over a week ago today. And Yuri Welsh able to split the pair from the line. It's a 1-possession game. All right, don't go anywhere. 197. Cavaliers on top by 3. And this fourth quarter has been a most strong performance for the Cavaliers, the offensive end. They've been just about perfect. And LeBron James missed 3 a moment ago. That long throw with the shot clock running down was the first Cavalier offensive miss in this fourth quarter. And the scoring balance has been tremendous. I remind you, it's the fantastically phenomenal Cavaliers Insiders giveaway. You can win autographed player-worn 35th anniversary uniforms and game tickets. Sign up to become a Cavaliers Insider, and you'll be automatically registered to win. Visit Cavaliers.com today. Well, the shooting has been terrific on the offensive end, Austin, but the defensive end, the Cavaliers have really made all of this happen. And Sasha Pavlovic has come on and gone 4 for 4 in the fourth quarter and tripled 3 times.
You're right, Michael. The Cavaliers have to understand this is the way they play the game. This is how they're the most effective. Sasha being on the open end of the jump shot after LeBron comes off the pick. Now his confidence is high. Now he's knocking shots down. When he catches and shoots the ball, he's tough.
Well, Sasha Pavlovic getting his opportunity here in the fourth quarter, and he has certainly made his presence felt for the Cavaliers. And when I like to, Austin, regardless, you're going to miss some shots once in a while, but Sasha shooting it with confidence. Yuri Welsh has been on the floor this whole fourth quarter, and LeBron James has been absolutely spectacular all night long.
You're right, Michael. He's been solid from the first part of the game to the end now. LeBron James doing his thing outside, inside, rebounding, everything. He's bringing his team along on his shoulders.
He's got 40 tonight for the 4th time this NBA season. And, of course, capped off by the 56-point performance in Toronto. But Sasha Pavlovic, as we just spoke of, what he's accomplished in this fourth quarter. But now the Cavaliers are looking to cap all this off with a big W, and they've got 1 minute left to do it up by 3. This is Dan Dickow now, being checked by Welsh, who's doing a good job on Dickow.
Yes, he is.
Dickow heading to the hole. Welsh rejected him, but the whistle is going to get Dan Dickow to the free throw line. Well, Yuri got a lot of basketball there, but Dickow's going to the line to try to cut the Cavalier lead to 1.
Michael, he had him. Good defense. That was not body at all there. I don't know what the referee was looking at, but that was solid defense by Yuri Welsh.
I don't know how you can play much better D than Yuri Welsh just did there.
Exactly.
All right, Dickow's hit his first, 198. He could cut the Cavalier lead down to 1. Dickow's had a solid performance. He stroked a couple of throws, and this is a 1-point game. What do the Cavaliers come to offensively?
They got to do something that it looks like they want to. They got to do something going to the basket, regardless of what it is, either a pick or what happens. LeBron wants them to flatten out. LeBron wants everybody to flatten out.
Yuri Welsh for 3. Barrejo tried to keep it alive, but Yuri Welsh missed everything on that triple try, and now with 32 seconds left, New Orleans has an opportunity after they've blown a 17-point lead to get back on top.
You did not need that at this particular time. Go into the basket is what you need now.
Dickow on the blow-by. Dickow to the hoop. Had it rejected by Barrejo. With 15 seconds left, LeBron James will handle. James lost it. And Milan threw it away with 9 seconds left.
Yes.
Back-to-back turnovers. New Orleans potentially had a 3-on-1. Nalon's pass sailed by Dickow. 9 ticks left. Byron Scott, incredulous, can't believe it.
Boy, you can see frustration on his face after what's been going on all year for them. LeBron loses the handle. He saves it. Nalon gets the ball, and he loses it on the pass to Dickow. Return the favor to the Cavaliers. The ball goes sailing out of bounds. Cavaliers feeling good now. Opportunity to put the game away. You know, Michael,
look at the veteran P.J. Brown, who's been around this league for 13 seasons, and he's playing with a very young basketball team. All right, Cavaliers by 1. We will remind you that Mark Price will be signing copies of his DVD, The Shooter's Touch, tomorrow at the Cavaliers Team Shop, 4 to 5. That's before the gates open. You won't need a game ticket. Meet Mark, have a chance to win an authentic Mark Price jersey, plus get a free Reebok t-shirt with your $50 purchase. Tomorrow night, Cavaliers Team Shop. Check in and get a copy of the Mark Price DVD, The Shooter's Touch. All right, Austin, 9 seconds left here. And for the Cavaliers now, you know New Orleans is going to go for this quick steal.
Right.
And after that, most of the Cavaliers got to value and protect the basketball here with a 1-point lead in this final 9.3.
Whatever you do, Michael, you do not throw the ball in the half-court situation. You don't want to throw the ball out to where they can get a steal and get to the basket. You got to try to get the ball inbound, going somewhere towards your basket, not lateral passing.
Eric Snow is going to check in to replace Yuri Wells for Brendan Malone. So Snow, Sasha Pavlovich, Zydrunas Ilgauskas on the floor, Drew Gooden on the floor, and LeBron James. All of the top Cavalier foul shooters, maybe with the exception of Pavlovich, who's a little bit above 60%. In the hands of LeBron James, and there comes the foul as you knew it would. So they got James coming to the basketball. LeBron just secured it like a running back, expected to take the hit. And now it'll be incumbent upon LeBron to connect twice, and it is still just a one-possession game. He needs the second to put the Cavaliers up by a deuce. 2-point Cavalier lead. James splits the pair. Timeout. Byron Scott with 8.3 left. It's a 20, and we'll keep it right here. Now, the last, I'm going to say 4 possessions, we've seen Dan Dickow attack the rim. Off the dribble penetration. You looking for the same and maybe the kick. I mean, in a situation like New Orleans is in, my question to you, is it out, their 16-win team, is it out of the realm of possibility that they might look to off the drive, draw and kick and get an open look at 3 to maybe try to get out of here and win this thing if they're successful?
I would say, Michael, they're going to go for the win. They're not going to go for the tie. They would go for the win. It's only a 2-point game here now. If Dickow can continue to penetrate like he's been penetrating, somebody's going to be waiting at that 3-point line. Cavaliers have to be aware of that. The best way to stop that is force Dickow away from the middle of the court.
Yeah. All right, and the defensive end, of course, as we flip that over for the Cavalier perspective, they do not have a foul to give, so that is no longer an option. Now, Brendan Malone's ball club going to go straight up, as it'll be Eric Snow on Dan Dickow. And we talk about the 3, and Bojan Nakbar has checked in. And Nakbar is 3 for 4 from long range. J.R. Smith 3 for 6. Let's watch. 8 seconds left.
Don't want to leave Nakbar.
Nakbar to attack the rim. That fadeaway jumper is right there, and it's even with 2.4 left. Bojan Nakbar with the knockdown to even it up.
With the knockdown, Nakbar, turnaround jump shot. You knew he had to be in that play some way. They went for the 2 instead of the 3, Michael. Nakbar going inside, lost control of it, but when he turned, squared his shoulders to the basket for 2. Lost control right here, but as a good shooter, what do? You just square your body to your target and knock it down.
So, Bojan Nakbar, the young man that came over in the deal earlier in the year, and And New Orleans gave up a 17-point lead. Also, he lost the basketball, but regathered and stroked that fadeaway. And now, all right, 2.4 left. Cavaliers have got an opportunity to get themselves a good look here.
Right.
The chance to get out of here and with this victory.
Well, you know, Michael, they worked on this quite a bit. And I would say right now, you have to make a decision if you're going to use LeBron as a decoy or you're going to get LeBron to take the shot. Because what will probably be open is use LeBron in a pick situation, let him go off the pick. The defense will swarm to him and try to hit Z or whoever sets the pick in a position where he can take a quick shot.
We've spoken of earlier tonight, and we hope you've been with us for this one that's turned into wildly entertaining, extremely dramatic tonight, of how LeBron James has benefited from a lot of the new wrinkles that Brendan Malone and the Cavalier coaching staff has put in. And in the first half, we saw a lot of that where LeBron on the move gets the basketball in the painted area around the dotted line with a chance set for the short jumper, or if he wants to continue strong to the hoop.
Right, and they'll have enough time, I think, to get a quick hitting shot. It doesn't have to be a touch and shoot.
So let's see. Can the Cavaliers be dramatic and beat the buzzer here in New Orleans? Now the Cavaliers want the basketball on the left side of the floor, with Zydrunas Ilgauskas setting up on the left block, being checked by Jamal McGlure, Sasha Pavlovich, LeBron James, Drew Gooden, Eric Snow, the veteran trigger man. 2.4 left. Let's see what the Cavaliers get.
There's Z right there.
Ilgauskas for the win. Didn't happen. We're going overtime. Overtime in New Orleans. Cavaliers, after they came from 17 down, built a 6-point lead, but they weren't able to put New Orleans away in regulation 48. We're coming right back. To get it decided tonight, let's hang around and play at least 5 more. That's why they call it March Madness all over the world.
Yes.
Any level of basketball, whether it's the NBA, collegiate, the high school level.
Love this time of year, Michael. This is what it's all about.
We saw plenty of drama over the weekend, of course, of the NCAA tournament. And it continues tonight with the Cavaliers. You know, the Cavaliers really needed a fourth quarter that was just about locked down, perfectly solid as you could imagine. You know what? Almost got it. Cavaliers went 11 of 14 in the quarter. Also, they hit 5 of the 7 threes, 3 of them from Sasha Pavlovich, 2 more from LeBron James, and 11 of 13 from the line.
Well, that shows them, I hope that shows them, Michael, that they can get the job done if they focus on what they have to do to make it happen, which is defend on the defensive end, use the turnovers, use your good defense to get into a good offensive rhythm.
The opening night of a back-to-back. Hey, let's take that a step further. The opening night of a week that was in Cavalier basketball. Cavaliers have 5 games in 7 days this week. And they want to start it out on the solid side. So let's go to overtime. Zydrunas Ilgauskas will win that tip with Jamal McGlure. Eric Snow, Sasha Pavlovich at the big guard spot with LeBron James, Zydrunas, and Drew Gooden. Byron Scott going with the starting 5. Z got the basketball up top from LeBron James underneath the rim. And Zydrunas got belted and is going to the free throw line. Z, who had that ring finger of his right hand x-rayed after he took that spill, but the x-rays were negative. He missed the third quarter and came back. Nakbar has just picked up his 5th. Bojan Nakbar with his 5th personal foul.
That was a good play by the Cavaliers to get Z the ball. Referee didn't give him the shot, but the Cavaliers get the ball back.
Shot clock at 3. Zydrunas got to shoot it. LeBron, that's a 24-second violation. Just can't have that. Can't have it on the road in overtime.
But in that situation, that's where his hook shot has to be part of his arsenal, Michael. He had the hook shot that close to the basket, just come straight up with it and knock it down.
Now the Cavaliers had the opening opportunity to gain the overtime advantage. Now that swings to Byron Scott's New Orleans Hornets. Dan Dickau along with Bojan Nakbar with the fadeaway jumper that tied it at 101 with 2.4 left. Nakbar to raise. That's going to miss everything. Missed everything. Did they open the door here in the New Orleans arena?
And let the wind he was shooting against the wind, Michael.
There was no sign of that coming. He'd been 6 of 7 and hit all 3 of his threes tonight, and then airmailed that. Eric Snow in the paint. James to triple. Ilgauskas on the glass, but Dickow came away with a basketball.
Could also by Z to keep the ball alive. Couldn't come up with it, though. Whoa.
Jamal McLaurin just crushed that. And one as he took a belt from Drew Gooden. As McLaurin thumped that down as Dickow found him, and he's got a chance to go to the line along with him.
Coming down on transition break. He gets into the middle. When you let him into the middle, you don't get good results.
If you appreciate basketball, and I know you don't like seeing it as a Cavalier fan, but that is finishing strong with the game on the line.
Right, Michael. That's a man. That's what, you hear me talk about a man's game.
Yeah,
that's what men do when it counts.
Well, that's what I mean. If you appreciate good basketball, I mean that's good basketball right there. That is emphatically the way you attack the rim.
Right, exactly.
And now P.J. Brown trying to keep that missed free throw alive. It'll be Cavaliers basketball. Well, McLaurin not able to finish off the three-point trip. He's had a strong night, as P.J. Brown has just been really wreaking havoc on the offensive glass. 5 of his 9 boards on the offensive end tonight. All right, it's New Orleans by 2. 3:40 left at overtime. Sasha Pavlovich. Bouncing baseline. Sasha got to the hole. Pavlovich with an extraordinary move and finished off the window. He's got 13.
Sasha coming out his bag tonight. Good to see him explode.
All even again at 103. Eric Snow trying to deal with Dan Dickow. Shot clock at 7. Dickow off the McLaurin pick. Deep three is right there from young J.R. Smith. He had to hoist it, and he buried it with a shot clock running down.
And LeBron was right in his face, and he knocked it down. LeBron was right there on the spot, but he still made the shot.
8 threes tonight for New Orleans. Pavlovich to triple. No. 2:45 left. The lead is 3. New Orleans has the basketball. Cavaliers now need to find a stop defensively. Eric Snow slapping it away from Dan Dickow. Shot clock at 10.
Good to see Eric up on the man, not giving him a chance to see who he can pass the ball to. Aggressive ball defense is key this part of the game. Can't let them pass the ball around.
Both coaches up. You go back to that first possession in overtime when the Cavaliers got a 24-second violation, didn't get a shot off. Dickow, shot clock at 3, nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Dickow forced it. Drew Gooden come away with a big defensive board. LeBron James now, 2:15 left. Cavaliers down 3. Pavlovich had to give it up. LeBron James for 3 in the tie. Bang! Big time knocked down. Tripling LeBron James. It's even at 106. He's got 44.
The young fella stepping up again, but super ball movement by the Cavaliers. Sasha, Eric Snow, round to LeBron for 3.
Dickow gave it up. Knock bar. No, that's too strong. Back heel. Snow quickly to the offensive end.
This match right here, LeBron just backing down.
Shot clock at 15. Cavaliers can regain the lead. We're going to hit 90 seconds of this Cavalier trip to the offensive end. Right now, Ilgauskas gave it up. Sasha Pavlovich, baseline strong. Threw it over the rim. Now it's New Orleans with an opportunity to regain the lead. We're in overtime. It's tied at 106. Hang on. Buckle it up if you have to. Coming right down to it here in the extra 5 minutes. Snow, physical with Dickow. Dickow against C. Gave it up. Shot clock at 2. Knock bar to the hole. That's a 24-second violation. Cavaliers got the turnover, got the stop as they put the clamps on defensively.
Super defense by Eric Snow and Dickow, Michael. He would not let him come over the top of that pick. He forced him to the baseline. By the time he got over top of the pick, time was starting to run out.
Now you're seeing wonderful Cavaliers basketball, plenty of excitement, and there's all kinds of opportunity for you to be a Cavalier promotional winner. Let's find out more. I know you're enjoying this one tonight. Hey, look at the Cavaliers. They were down by 17, and they're trying to end, Austin, this long road losing slide that has reached 11 games now. And with a minute left and all even at 106, Cavaliers had a dazzling fourth quarter, and LeBron James has been the leader of the dazzle. He's got 44 tonight.
Well, Michael, this is the type of game that they need to bring them out of the slumber. They don't have time to worry about and feel sorry for themselves. They have to worry about trying to execute to win this ball game. This is the type of game they needed to try and come out of this situation that they've been in on the road.
Oh, by the way, that young man right there, he has not come off the floor tonight. 52 minutes of basketball, he's gone all 52 of them.
And he's been game tonight, baby. He's brought his A game tonight.
Sasha Pavlovich has been extraordinary. 5 of 7 for the floor. He's hit 3 of his 4 threes. He's got 13, but now the Cavaliers need a hit. They need a success on this trip to regain the lead. Pavlovich going to the hole. Didn't fall for Sasha. Z came out of the pack. Gooden had a stick back. And it's going to New Orleans. With 43 seconds left, Cavaliers now, they didn't get a whistle, and they got to come back and get another stop.
Well, they attacked the basket. They couldn't get it to go down. Now you have to have the resolve to get in that defensive mode and stop this play.
Dickow being checked by Eric Snow. A lot of contact there, and they're going to call the foul on Eric Snow. And that'll be the first in the overtime. First in overtime, first in the last 2 minutes. Host John Nakbar, who is the reason, you're probably not familiar with him, unless you really follow the NBA, but he's the reason that we're still here. Get that fadeaway jumper. Shot clock now at 5. That's P.J. Brown to knock it out. The veteran P.J. Brown with a big stroke. 24.4 left. Cavaliers down by 2.
Good solid defense by Eric Snow to keep Dickow from coming over the top of the pick. Little pass back, knock the jumper down. Cavaliers need one bad.
LeBron James. 10 seconds left. James to the rack. Gooden on the offensive glass. Gooden got it to go. And one with the New Orleans foul underneath the hole. That's going to be called on Dan Dickow.
Michael, when you continue to attack, LeBron James attacking the basket, opens it up for Drew inside, and Drew taking his time and getting the shot he wants. Opportunity to take the lead with a shot here. LeBron inside, draws the defense to him. Big mismatch with Dickow. Gooden takes advantage of it. This is what you practice free throws day in and day out for this particular situation. Get your routine down. Don't think about it. Knock it down. Boom, take the lead.
Ira Newble on for the defensive end. That for the Cavalier lead. Drew Gooden with the connection. Huge three-point hit from Gooden, and the Cavaliers are on top by 1 with 6.4 left. LeBron James attacked the hole off that strong penetration, and the Cavaliers went to the glass, and Drew Gooden with the deposit against Byron Scott's defense. And the trip to the line has put the Cavaliers on top. All right, as we catch our breath, as the Cavaliers discuss the defensive strategy with head coach Brendan Malone. Tonight's play of the game brought to you by Kraft. For great food ideas, log on to craftfoods.com and just go back a second ago. I like the idea, though, from LeBron James taking it to the hole strong.
Well, Michael, he knows where the money is. The money is at the basket. By him charging like that, it forced their team to have to guard him. It left Drew open with a mismatch on Dickow, and Drew took his time and got the shot he wanted over the top. Nice turn. Got the foul. played it in softly, went to the line, knocked the free throw down. Now the Cavaliers have a 1-point lead with 6 seconds left.
Play of the game brought to you by our friends at Kraft. And for the Cavaliers, now it all swings over to the defensive end. We've seen a lot of in the fourth quarter after the Cavaliers got the lead. It's been Dickow off dribble penetration.
Right.
Lately, it's been Dickow off the high screen being set up top by either McGlure or P.J. Brown, and then he makes the decision from there.
And I think that's what they're going to go back to, Michael, because that's what's been working for them. So I think they're going to go back and try and set the same situation up and let Dickow make the decision on who he wants to hit.
All right, get set. You may be on your feet in your living room, and we understand. No question about that. This has been superb tonight.
Yes, it has.
High basketball drama here on the Bayou in New Orleans, Louisiana. All right, Dan Dick out of inbound, J.R. Smith, P.J. Brown, Boshjan Nakbar, along with Jamal McGlure. Cavaliers go with Ira Newble on J.R. Smith. Snow will check Dan Dickow. LeBron James on Nakbar. 6.4 left. Cavaliers by 1. P.J. Brown will give it up. Dickow to turn the corner. Dickow's runner didn't go down. Drew Gooden's got the basketball, and you can book this road win to the Cavaliers to end the 11 games of road frustration as the Wine and Gold have fought their way back from 17 down with a fourth quarter explosion, and then the hang on in overtime to win it 109-108 the final. Oh, it's much needed from the Cavaliers, and they got it done. Hang on, we'll be right back to New Orleans.